Are you getting the most out of your limited practice time? You put in hours but still can't play a tune confidently, or maybe play tunes over and over and they never get any better? Most guitar methods assume that you have unlimited time, but what if you have a life, a family, career? Then you need a more efficient way to practice, and that starts with understanding what you're actually doing when you pick up the guitar. I'm Dr. George, making jazz simple so that you can play more and think less. Most guitarists think that whenever they pick up the guitar, they're practicing. But that's not really how it works. Johnny Smith once said to me that I hate to practice. I was kind of confused by that because he was always practicing. And so I asked him and he said, "Oh, that's not practice, that's learning something new." And that's when I realized that there are actually three different things we do when we pick up the guitar. Learn something new, practice to make something better, or just play. Scales, licks, and exercises are fine. You've got 3 hours a day to practice and dreams of a pro career, but most adults just want to play songs and enjoy it. That means building a repertoire, and everything you practice should help you play a song better. And this is exactly how I work with my students, making sure they're doing the right thing at the right time instead of just spinning their wheels. I'll tell you more about that later, but first, let me show you how this works with a real tune. I recently added Over the Rainbow to my repertoire. Here's what I did. Okay, so our first step is to learn the tune. Now, before you do that, though, you really want to know what you want it to sound like. Now, with this song, that wasn't a real problem because I've been listening to that on TV since I was a little kid, when Wizard of Oz was on. So I know this melody really well. But if I didn't, I would go and do some listening first and make sure I really had the sound of the tune in my ear, how I want it to be played. Now, once we've done that, let's start with the melody, not with the chords. You should learn these by ear, and you might want to sing it first. Da, 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 da. So with the melody learned, it's time to tackle the chords. Now, the melody is entirely diatonic, so that means the chord progression is going to be largely diatonic too. I have a pretty good idea of how I want this to sound, so I'll be able to figure out the chords fairly quickly. But when you're first starting out, you probably should just listen for the bass notes, listen for the roots of each chord, and then it makes it a lot easier to figure out because, again, most of these chords are going to be diatonic. This is what I ended up coming up with. So now that I've got it all worked out, I want to do a quick check. I'm going to use my answer sheet, the fake book. Now you'll notice I didn't use the fake book to learn the tune, but I do like to use it to check and make sure that I've got it the way I want it. And I found out that I used a chord that wasn't in the fake book, but I like mine better. And then I also found another chord where they were right. And then finally, there was also this one chord where I used a D minor 7 flat 5, and the fake book said B flat 7. And you can hear that sounds awfully similar, right? Well, that's because the D minor 7 flat 5 is the upper structure of a B flat 9 chord. Here's the third, the 7th, the 9th, and the 5th. And so if you put the bass note underneath, sounds just fine. So I'll probably use both of those chords. Other than that, we're good. So now we're ready to do some real practicing. But the question is, what should we practice? Well, first, I had to work out an arrangement for this because I'm going to play this on a solo gig. And then I played it once or twice through and found where I'm going to have some trouble spots. You want to make sure you're not rehearsing your mistakes. So you find those trouble spots and then you're going to isolate them and then you're going to play them over and over until you can play them just fine. Now, you should only be finding a few trouble spots. More than a couple, maybe that's going to be the song is a little too hard for you. I usually follow the 80-20 rule. I expect 80% of the song to be pretty easy, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time practicing that part. And then I expect 20% of the song to be not so easy and going to need a little extra work. So once you've worked out all the bugs and can make it through the tune, it's time to sit down and play. You want to play this just like you would on a gig, straight through, no stopping. Try to relax, and don't be thinking about notes or dwelling on mistakes. And about those mistakes, if you're making too many of them, it means it's time to go back to the woodshed. Now you can hear my version of the head arrangement of the song at the end of this video. Now I learned this tune in a day, and I played it at a gig that night. Now it used to take me a lot longer, but even if you only learn one tune a month, that's 12 tunes a year that you've added to your repertoire. And in just a few years, you've got a song list that you can really depend on. And one more thing, consistency matters more than marathon sessions. You really don't need 3 hours a day. 30 minutes a day is great as long as it's focused. And if you can only do 15, that's okay too. Just try to make sure you pick the guitar up every day. So here's the bottom line. When you pick up the guitar, know which one you're doing. Are you learning, are you practicing, or are you playing? All three are essential, but if you mix them up, you're going to waste time. And most of us don't have unlimited time anymore. Learning is for expanding your repertoire, practice is for solving problems, playing is for making music. Keep them separate, use them in the right order, and that's how you build a repertoire that sticks. And if you're an adult guitarist and you want to make sure that you're working on the right things at the right time, that's exactly what I focus on inside Jumpstart Jazz Guitar. Sign up for a free strategy session with me to learn more. The link is down below.